This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon and thanks for watching News 8 Now at noon. I'm Emily Haugen. Water levels are still high across the Coulee region. This is a look at La Crosse's Riverside Park. As you can see, the water has reached well over the main levee and is creeping up onto grassy areas of the park. The city does have the park closed. On the other side of the river, Pettibone Park is flooded and also closed. A few trails in La Crosse are also closed, including Cottonwood and Grand Crossing Marsh trails, as well as Green Island and Huska Park trails. We'll have a full list of those closures on news8000.com. And city officials in Prairie du Chien say St. Ferrioli Island is closed to all traffic. North Main Street is also closed from Frederick Street to West Washington Street. A public information meeting will happen today at 1:30 at the community room in City Hall. Evacuation sites are being set up for people who want to leave their homes if water begins flooding their homes. We have more information from city officials on our website. That again is news8000.com. And another reminder that the town of Campbell is asking for volunteers to help fill sandbags to protect homes and businesses. If you can help, meet at the town office on Bainbridge Street anytime before 3 today. The town is asking volunteers to bring their own pair of gloves and an extra shovel.
Well, we are watching increasing cloudiness move in from the west here this afternoon, and we're also tracking a few light rain showers here positioned to our west that we're keeping a close eye on. Nothing too major, however, at the moment. You can see some of those scattered rain showers positioned mainly across the Chippewa Valley, Buffalo, Pepin, into Eau Claire County, as well as into Chippewa County. Looking at some very, very light rain here that continues to move through. Other than that, you can see all the cloud cover moving in from the west, associated with the backside of the storm system that we were dealing with here just yesterday. Current temperature readings are into the 40s, 47 in La Crosse now, 43 in Winona, 37 right now in Eau Claire. Temperatures in Black River Falls at 46. Bosque, one of the warmer spots, however, at 50 degrees. Very cloudy start here this afternoon. Will continue to remain on the cloudy side with some scattered rain showers possible, especially between 3 to 5 p.m. as they continue to move towards the east, and slightly cool temperatures here overall as well. We'll talk about your full weather forecast. I'll time things out, plus a sneak peek at the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Emily?
And the Vernon County Sheriff's Office has arrested a 23-year-old man in a drug trafficking investigation. An official release says earlier this month during a traffic stop, deputies found Hunter Volden violating a November cash bond for possession charges of methamphetamine and marijuana. Police performed a search warrant later that day and found an estimated street value of $40,000. Volden is being held on a $15,000 cash bond. And Minnesota may become the next state to legalize recreational cannabis if an upcoming vote succeeds. Minnesota lawmaker Zach Stevenson announced there will be a vote on a bill that he authorized that would legalize cannabis, commonly known as marijuana, for recreational use by adults. The bill would also create an Office of Cannabis Management, create licensing rules, and put a sales tax on products. Minnesota governor also tweeted today that he's ready to sign recreational cannabis legislation into law, as well as expunge cannabis convictions in the state. If passed, Minnesota would become the 22nd state to legalize cannabis. And in Wisconsin, a Republican leader says he's been building support for medical cannabis legislation. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos told the Associated Press he's been working privately on a medical cannabis program. He thinks he could get bipartisan support. Vos says he's still opposed to legalizing recreational cannabis and doesn't want to create something that could lead to full legalization. He hopes to introduce his plan this fall. According to a poll by Marquette University Law School last October, 64% of Wisconsinites support legalizing marijuana for any use. And last night, folks in La Crosse celebrated an up-and-coming annual holiday for lovers of the plant. People gathered at the La Crosse Center for 420 on Front Street, where there was live music and comedy, as well as more than a dozen vendors with cannabis and non-cannabis products. The party is a collaboration between local businesses, Carbon Cannabis and Stack's Family Farms. The president and CEO of Carbon Cannabis said he's excited to bring people together on a holiday that carries backlash and wants to use it as a chance to educate.
Big part of what I do with Carbon Cannabis is educate, and this is a perfect environment for people that are actively interested in cannabis to help educate them and make the proper choices when they're consuming.
The event is giving back to the community as well, with all proceeds from a raffle going to the American Legion. Well, still to come today at noon, a special guest joins us live in studio to share how you can celebrate Earth Day tomorrow. We'll have all the details about the celebration in Winona after the break.
You expect more. So thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Good afternoon. Today at News 8, we have Debbie Niebuhr. She's the president of the Winona Arts Center. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and Debbie is here today to talk about Earth Day and the celebration happening in Winona tomorrow. So Debbie, tell us about more with this event.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll be at the JC Pavilion. Not as warm as we would have liked it to be, but
Sorry about that.
That's the weather in Minnesota, so we'll be there from 11 to 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so why does it matter to you to celebrate Earth Day?
Yeah.
Well, because we're in a climate crisis, for one thing, and believe it or not, I was actually at the very first Earth Day celebration in 1970. I was a college student then, and Gaylord Nelson from Wisconsin, he was the senator who started it in 1970, so been celebrating Earth Day for a long time.
And the city of Winona is heavily involved in this as well. Can you talk a little bit about how they got involved?
Well, last year the Winona Arts Center had a celebration, and we only seat 75 people, and so we had some indoors, some outdoors, and Bluff Country Co-op also had a celebration in their parking lot, which they had to move inside because of the rain. So we contacted them first and said, maybe we should do something together. And then we have a sustainability coordinator in the city of Winona, John Howard, and he got in touch with me and said the city wants to be involved. So we have 17 booths there tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay, so before I get to my next question,
Yes.
I'm curious, like, what sort of events will be happening at the event today?
Okay.
Tomorrow.
So we have a Little Warriors drumline who's going to perform, which that's really great, anywhere from little kids, toddlers, all the way to high school kids. A couple in Winona organized this to have kids something to do. And then we have food vendors, of course. We have kite flying. We have 17 vendors everywhere from City of Winona, tree seedlings given away, art projects for kids. Yeah, lots of things. Lots of good information.
That's awesome. So what would you say to those who appreciate and celebrate Earth Day?
Thank you. And stay involved, because, you know, the earth really needs us to stay involved and do our part.
For sure. And, for those that haven't actually gotten, to take a role into Earth Day or haven't had that chance to really celebrate and know what it's all about, what would you say to those people? How can they get involved?
I would say to come to the event. There's so many vendors that'll give you information about how you can start doing your own part. There's also lots of resources. I think Sierra Club wrote a small little book called 100 Things You Can Do to Save the Earth or something like that. So there's lots of good information out there about how to get started and doing your part.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Debbie. So tomorrow, 11 to 2, remind us where?
JC Pavilion in Winona. It's down by Lake Winona.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, make sure to check out the event tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and we'll be back with more news after this. Carbon dioxide is the primary greenhouse gas emitted through human activity, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. But increasingly, companies are using new technology to capture CO2 at the source, and then turning that CO2 into stuff you may use every day. One company hopes to have you wearing it, drinking it, and then some.
You're looking at bottles of liquid innovation, perfume, and vodka.
They're first products that have been made from carbon dioxide.
In this warehouse in New York City, Air Company takes industrial CO2 captured before it's released into the air, mixes it with hydrogen to make cleaner consumer products.
The folks at Air Company say making greener perfume and vodka is great, but this is just a taste of what they think this technology can do when it comes to bringing us to a more sustainable future.
Air Company CEO Gregory Constantine says the real focus is jet fuel.
The aviation industry accounts for about 2 to 3% of global CO2 emissions on an annual basis.
With the same process, the company has developed what it calls sustainable aviation fuel, ready to drop in a plane without changing the hardware. Last year, the Air Force ran its first test and recently struck a deal with a startup to help the government's biggest emitter of greenhouse gases capture and convert CO2 on site.
You're actually able to, to create a new fuel that is removing carbon dioxide in its production process rather than polluting with putting out carbon dioxide in the production process. You're having steps in the right direction.
A tool, but critics say not a solution. They argue the process can be expensive and getting the CO2 can be energy intensive. Air Company acknowledges there's work to do, but says this is just the beginning. Jared Hill, CBS News, Brooklyn, New York.
The Brooklyn facility is what Air Company calls a pilot plant. It plans to grow in order to meet the demand of the Air Force and private airlines like JetBlue and Virgin Atlantic, which have already signed up for hundreds of millions of gallons of its sustainable jet fuel. Well, here's a look at City Cam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
Download the News 8000 app today.
We're watching a few light scattered rain showers across portions of the area this afternoon. These are mainly focused, though, well towards our north. You can see areas like Bloomer or areas like Chippewa into Eau Claire County, as well as into Dunn, Pepin, and Buffalo County, mainly well to our north and northwest, even to portions of Wabasha County. Looking at a few light sprinkles there as we are watching the backside of this upper level disturbance that continues to bring us some increasing moisture, cloud cover, and some rain showers. And here is that disturbance. You can see this low pressure system there, and that is bringing us plenty of moisture here on the backside of the disturbance. Here's what we were dealing with yesterday. You see all that rain and thunderstorms and the cloud cover well to the east. That is what we were dealing with those showers and storms yesterday, well positioned to our east. We're dealing with the wraparound effect now on the backside of that storm system, and that is going to give us some increasing rain chances here as we head towards later in the day. Live look there from La Crosse. You can see things are looking pretty cloudy, 47 degrees. The temperature here right now, visibility at around 10 miles, southwest winds at 20. Look at the gust up to 28 miles an hour. Meanwhile, in Eau Claire, well to the north, we got 37 degrees here right now, and it looks like we are going to be looking at temperatures here at probably in the upper 30s for the next hour or so. I would say probably warming up, though, into the 50s as we head into later in the afternoon, but you can see those gusts up to around 26 miles an hour here currently. Look at the temperatures here to the west in Winona right now at 41. Broke was at 44. Boscobel now at 50 degrees, and here's what you can expect throughout the day. Some scattered showers around 3 o'clock, 47 degrees, and a few light rain showers at 5. 50 being the temperature, and then by 7, 43 degrees with a little bit of a light drizzle or so. Forecast high in Sparta today reaching 48 degrees, Boscobel reaching a high of 53, and Winona should be reaching a high today of about 45 degrees. And you can see those scattered rain showers now moving through. We'll continue to watch those rain showers and becoming more widely scattered as we head to about 4 p.m. Here's 8 o'clock. Everything should calm down, maybe a light snow shower or two as those temperatures begin to drop, and still be dealing with a little bit of leftover moisture here moving in from the west. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, looking at a few light scattered areas of some light snow, and the same can be said here as we take you into the day tomorrow. You can see more widely scattered areas of some snow kind of mixing together with a little bit of rain as those temperatures begin to warm up above freezing well into the 40s by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now by 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, we expect that everything begins to clear out. Skies, however, will continue to remain on the cloudy side of things. River levels not looking good here. Wabasha, Winona, La Crosse, Trempealeau, all at moderate flood stage, and they are expected to crest towards the major flooding criteria here for all these locations as we head into next week. Here's a check now at your 8-day forecast, and we will be looking at temperatures warming up into the the mid to upper 40s as we head into this weekend. Highs warm up even further into the 50s heading into next week under mainly cloudy skies. We'll probably have to wait towards the end of next week, though, by Thursday and Friday, because that's when our temperatures for our highs reach the 60s, Emily.
I've got my eye on the 60.
Same.
Focus to the future.
I know. Yeah, we're going to have to wait a little while to get there, but I think at least we have something to look forward to.
We were teased earlier with the 80 degrees, so I think maybe it's okay to wait.
Yeah.
We can handle it, right?
We can wait.
Okay. Thanks, Derek.
Yep.
Well, when we come back, preparations are underway for a beloved event in the Coulee region. We'll have more on what to expect for this year's Steppin' Out in Pink next.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Early bird registration for Steppin' Out in Pink officially opens next Monday. This is the 17th year for Gunderson's Walk to benefit breast cancer research. After having to cancel last year's event due to weather, the Gunderson team says they are more excited than ever to showcase the new route using Riverside Park. One program coordinator says the money raised from this event helps their foundation with research.
All of the proceeds from Steppin' Out in Pink go directly to breast cancer research, patient support programs right here at Gunderson. I mean, it makes a real impact right here in our community.
Starting on Monday, walkers can register online at steppinoutinpink.org. Early bird will cost $20, and after June 29th, it will cost $24 to register. This year's Steppin' Out in Pink is set for September 9th. Stay with us. We'll have one more check of your forecast when we return.
Well, listen, I know, Emily, you don't want to hear this, and neither do the viewers. It's going to get cold this weekend. Highs drop into the 40s. I know, right? It is tragic. But heading into next week, our temperatures will rebound. We're going to warm up into the 50s for the highs, even the low 60s come Thursday and Friday. Not really a whole lot of sunshine, unfortunately, mainly cloudy skies. And by the way, there is that 30% chance of seeing a few snow showers for tomorrow. Nothing too crazy, nothing too significant. It's just kind of hit and miss.
All right, good to know. And don't forget, we've got the tornado drill at 1:45 today,
that's right.
if you're in Wisconsin. Thank you so much for watching News 8 Now. We hope you join us again tonight.